This morning we're going to talk about curing onions and whether you have to do it or whether you don't. Stay tuned. We have a gorgeous sunrise this morning, folks, and it's about 63 degrees. And no, we did not see any northern lights, but maybe we missed them. Maybe they came during the night. But you can see everything is so green here from all the rain we've gotten here in North Texas. So here in Texas, and much of us in the South, it's coming time to harvest our onions. We had to harvest ours a little early, and I'm going to show you why. So although these aren't very big, their necks are broken. And I think I'm going to attribute it to, we've been very warm. Guys, we've had a very warm, or I should say, the spring that we've had has been nice and cooler for us, but it's too warm for the onions in the high tunnel. And so once your necks break, you need to go ahead and pull them out of the ground because they're going to stop growing. I have several left here in the ground, and I'm going to leave them until they start to break or they start to bolt out, meaning they get a long stalk and they want to go ahead and go to seed. So we're going to leave these alone because we're going to try to let these get a little bit bigger. Now, we don't mind our small onions. We'll take anything we can get right now because some of the smaller ones, what you can do, you can go ahead and use them, or you can chop them up and freeze them for later on. Not necessarily purple onions, but your white and your yellow onions. So what I'll do with these purple onions is I'll probably make some homemade pico de gallo today because some of my tomatoes are starting to come in, and I have purple onions, and I have fresh cilantro from the garden, and I have a couple of jalapeno peppers too. So do you have to cure your onions before you use them? No, you can use them right out of the garden. But if you intend to save your onions for long term, yes, you do have to let them go through the curing process. And so what that means is you go ahead and pull them, and then you must wait until this gets completely dry at the onion. If there's any green, what's going to happen is these will start to rot from the inside out, or they may even root in your refrigerator, and you don't want to lose them. So you want to make sure that your stalks are very, very dry. So let's look at this one. You can see it looks like it's pretty darn dry. We're going to cut into it and see. So see inside that core, I think that we need to let them age a little longer, or cure a little longer, because that's still damp. So I'm gonna set this aside, and I'm gonna use this today in our cooking. I have some purple ones here that I'm letting go to cure. So when you first pull them, guys, you know, you can see your fresh onion, and you can see some over here, but not as many because I pulled these guys a couple of weeks back. And so they might look like this. You really want them to get the paper that you see when you pick them up at the grocery store. So we need to let these go a little bit longer because I do want to long-term store these. Now I could go ahead, like I said, and chop these up and vacuum seal them in a bag and pop them in the refrigerator or the freezer. And I will do that with many of these. See how this is budding out? I will do that with many of these, just so we'll have some in the freezer. And some of the smaller ones, I'll probably go ahead and chop up and throw in the freeze dryer and make homemade onion powder. So a lot of people will braid them and hang them up and let them dry that way with the stalks still on them. And I may try to do some of that today, we'll see. But most of them, I'm gonna let them dry out, and then I'm gonna put them in a cool, dark place in my pantry in a box, and I'll probably layer them. I'll put some down, put some newspaper down, and then I'll put some more down and put some newspaper down. And that's how you store your onions for long term. Now we'll go through these very quickly. We'll go through all of these onions probably by mid to late summer. And so I'm going to go ahead and start some more seeds here before too long and pop some in the ground in the fall to keep our onions going, because we use a lot of them in our cooking. So if you're going to use your onions right away, no, you don't have to cure them. You can pop them right out of the garden and start using them. But if you have a bunch and you're going to try to store them for long term, you do need to let them cure. So I hope this video helps you guys. We're just so excited to get what we're getting. And I know you up north, you still got some time. So you can start planning where you're going to put your onions, how you're going to process them. If you're going to try to store them long term, if you're going to use them right away, if you're going to freeze dry them, if you're going to freeze them. There's lots of ways to preserve your onions. So take care. God bless. I hope you guys have a wonderful day today. See you soon.